I got you in here. We're recording. We're just recording. At least we can figure this out right now.
I was taking a picture of you. I don't have any pictures of black people on my phone. None.
The mic is on.
What you want me to do? I mean, what you want me to do? He's like, you can't say that. Welcome everybody to our maiden voyage on this podcast. These guys, two Z's. I'm Jason Jordan. You can follow me on Instagram at Raylan'sDad416. And also like, subscribe, and share on our YouTube. It'll be under These Guys. And now I'll kick it over to Jabbar Thomas.
I'm Jabbar Thomas, Bar Beast. You can follow me on Snapchat at Hot Hand Hoops or Bar Beast 44. So
yeah, the reason why we wanted to start this podcast, it's been in the works for about 2 years, and we've kind of been going back and forth on what the content should be. Should it be really structured? Should it be kind of more organic? What do we really want the content to be? And I think some things are serious, obviously more not serious than serious. But yeah, so it all started back with our roots. Jabbar and I've been friends since, 10th grade?
about 10th grade.
About 10th grade. And it all started over basketball.
Yeah. Basketball was a big thing. Basketball was big in my life, so basketball was my daddy.
I guess we're going to get into the serious portion first.
Basketball was my daddy. Yeah.
But no, I think sometimes when you grow up in West Virginia, number one, there's a huge stigma that either there's the inbred comment, there's the stupidity comment, there's the slow comment. Pick whichever negative connotation you want to attach to West Virginia, but we found through basketball, I grew up in a single wide trailer in the middle of the woods, and Jabbar grew up in a single parent home. And you basketball is one of these things where you don't have to come from a certain social class. You don't have to have a certain set of financial background to fit in. You either come, you show up, you play hard, you're either good or you're not. And it levels the playing field for everybody. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. He had Jordans, I didn't. So the playing field.
And just to go back to, he did have Jordans.
You did have Jordans at the time.
No, you had them.
Oh, well,
You had mine.
Heisted.
Right. So my first impression of Jabbar would have been, he's a thief. Man, I thought this was a nice guy. I was playing some basketball, and then he's like, "Oh, I don't have any shoes." I'm like, "Oh, okay, take these." But I don't, under the understanding, I'll be getting them back. And
no, you wasn't gonna get them back, but you would see them again.
I did see them again. We were washing cars.
Yes. Brother had a job.
At least you were working. Yeah, I mean, at least you were working.
I was working.
Yeah.
Brother had a job.
So there's that.
But yeah, basketball actually brought us together. It's a fun thing. Like I say, today's basketball versus yesterday's basketball, two different things. Today's basketball, we was always outside. Opposed to the kids today. We always found a court. We was never in the house. Video games. We didn't have phones. A lot of distractions today. But we were always outside looking for a game.
Yeah.
No matter where it was. It could be in the middle of the woods. If it was 2 goals and a ball, we was there. Today's kids, that's a different.
Yeah, and that's something else we'll get into, right? So we're gonna have some guests come on, not this episode, but in the next episodes to follow. We're gonna bring on Chris Feldhouse, who is the owner of House Media, has a huge following on social media. He does every sport in West Virginia, and he's just a tremendous I guess, advocate for West Virginia athletics. So we're going to have him on. We're going to talk about athletics, how it used to be versus what he sees now, and kind of what the trends are going to be in the future. And we're also going to have some other guests on with like men's wellness. That's the.
So we're gonna try to give you a little bit of everything.
Yeah. We also will hit the streets. When I say hit the streets, probably in a different terminology than what this guy thinks, but maybe go to a barbershop.
Black barbershops.
And a white barbershop. Is there a difference between the two? You're going to find out. Is there a difference?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
In the cut or in the combo? Probably both.
D, all the above.
Yeah.
I think like D. Yeah.
We're also going to get into some really, I guess, controversial topics. Some that we may agree or disagree on. Some that some of the followers or listeners may either agree or disagree on. And listen, by no means are we saying that our affiliations or
your
views are what we project onto you all. You got to do what's best for yourselves and your households. So
that's how I tell people to vote.
Religion,
yeah,
politics. We're going to go over family dynamics, social issues, all of those things. And we're going to bring on different people. I've got some friends that are on the West Coast that are very, very influential as it relates to the medical field, even from a social climate, whether it is modeling, even some professional athletes. So we're gonna see if we can get some of the professional athletes to show up. So we're gonna be reaching out. We're gonna have a lot more details to follow as it comes. As it comes to those, and we'll let everybody know in the previous episodes what's to come. So
all my guests gonna be from the hood. They'll be snitches, drug dealers. We gonna bring it to you live.
Snitching season is every season.
It's every season.
Yeah.
It's every season. I got a homie. He don't snitch on Wednesdays.
That's it?
Yeah, Wednesday you get a free pass.
If even rules in the hood. There's got to be a code of conduct everywhere. It can't just be chaos.
Yeah.
If a criminal's got a code of conduct.
They got a hint of honor.
Look over him, Larry. Look over him, Larry.
Look over. Yeah.
But yeah, we thought this would be a really good way to kind of talk about some topics, have a little bit of fun with it, because I'll be completely honest, we don't see things the way that we see it played out on TV, or the way that most people are approaching us, the things that we see on social media. And we got together and I'm like, bro, I don't see it like that. Like, we've never looked at each other in that way. We've never like looked at each other and thought this is a certain way. Well, maybe you looked at me like that.
Get kind of ditty up there. I don't know where you going with this.
Look at baby oil.
I don't know where you going with this. But I would like to touch on something real quick. Just like with all seriousness. Why did he decide to put this black and white guy?
This is the only way I can force him to sit beside two white people in the same room. And when he went back, he didn't see that I threw the picture up until he sat down, and I kind of snuck up and threw it up.
Just wanted to touch on that. Yeah, man. It's like I say, the different cultures is absolutely amazing, because you come to a white man's house and things are completely different. You know, you don't smell bleach.
The furniture's not covered.
I ain't got no
plastic on the furniture. Doesn't smell like berries.
Yeah, so this is all new to me. White people usually don't let me in.
Nah. I did check you at the door.
Yeah. You wanted me down.
Yeah. And the man, crazy times.
That's the one, man. But yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a season. So stay tuned.
yeah, stay tuned. And on the next episode, we may hit the streets. We may have some questions in front of certain guests. We're going to throw some topics out there, and we're going to see what the streets have to do with it.
And what topics do you all want? When you like and comment, share, subscribe, put in a comment. Let us know what you want to hear about.
Yeah,
let us know where your mind is. Honestly, we'll talk just about anything. We don't have a problem with it. So
this was thrown up to me, and you can chime in and tell me yes or no, preferably no. But as part of men's health, I was told I need to undergo a colonoscopy. I haven't had one yet. Don't yell at me. My wife's been on me for years to do it. And I think someone wants to be there to see how that kind of plays out. Probably not like maybe in all of it, but maybe the before and after. See the fallout, the fart out. So if that's something that you all want to see, kind of like the good and bad of it, I mean, I'm not down, but I'll be pretty much asleep, so I don't care either way. And then you're next.
I'm good. I'm good.
I got no problems.
I'm good. Yeah.
Again, we'll go back to the cultural thing as to why black men don't want to get colonoscopies.
I've been deuced before. I've been checked out. We're good. They deuced me.
That's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's literally an intra-anal Netflix. It's a documentary. It's a dark documentary.
Well, me being deuced by a doctor, that was
Magic would do it.
Magic
would do a lot of things. Sorry, Magic.
Magic got rid of AIDS.
Oh,
man.
let's see.
HIV,
It can
whatever.
be done. Cure for everything.
Yeah.
Cure for everything.
Well, it's a cure for me not getting deuced again.
Yeah, well, I guess
Yeah.
you are the determiner of your own future.
Yeah.
Bar Thomas.
The doctor took a knee like Colin Kaepernick behind me.
Did he give you a second opinion?
He deuced me, man.
They're not supposed to do that.
He deuced me.
You're not supposed to. You got tricked. Tricked.
Today's world, we would say, I got diddy.
Yeah, did he giggle?
Diddy bopped.
Did he giggle when he did?
No, he ain't wiped me down, though.
Use a glove?
I think.
You
He didn't wipe me down.
Oh, man.
Yeah, wipe me down. So men's health is important, and especially for us people of color. Cancer is higher risk. Everything's higher risk. So
yeah, it is, and I've been in the medical field. I'm not a doctor.
He's not a doctor.
No, but I've been in the medical field, and I've seen a lot over the last 2 decades, and there are significant risks that are higher for white people versus black people. There are some things that, are definitely, I would say, like medically exacerbated by certain lifestyle, certain foods, stuff like that. And honestly, man, the crazy thing is black people and white people are different internally. They just are. Just like men and women are different. We'll go over that one too.
Yeah, but we all bleed red.
We all bleed the same, man. And I think that's pretty much why we're here. Is we've been friends for a long time.
Can you pause right there?
I've been friends with Jabbar. I've been friends with Jabbar.
Pause there for a second. When he say he's in the medical field, he just cleans the equipment.
I'm not cleaning nothing. I ain't cleaning nothing.
He just cleans the
I
equipment.
do colonoscopes. I'm just trying to get him in there.
I'm done.
No?
Yeah, man.
But no, man. There's a lot of differences, and I guess the reason why we bring it up, right, is people only look at the differences.
Exactly, they only look at the differences,
and I don't think that there's enough, right? Like I wouldn't, and I guess I've always looked at it this way, and I think you and I had this conversation before. I wouldn't buy a car and I say, man, black car is faster, right, than this car. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It might be.
It is.
That's why it drives a white car. But
You're right. You only look at the differences. Yeah, we don't look at how much alike we are.
and it's crazy because it's a cultural thing, right? Like, if we stretch back 150 years and we look at everybody came from a specific culture, and the good thing is this is a melting pot, right? You still got all these other countries, and pretty much everybody that lives in those countries are native, like countrymen.
That's right.
Indians live in India, right? So it's there's not a huge migration into other countries. Those other countries are coming to the United States of America.
We sending them back.
At least you got a seat. At least you got a seat. You crazy.
Oh man.
See, you've changed. You've changed.
We sending them back.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Oh, we got them all out of here.
Well, I thought you said we sit in the back.
Nah.
I'm serious. I thought you Rosa Parks.
No, we sending them back.
See? You have no inflection in your voice. That tiny little syllable made me think something completely different.
That's why you said subscribe and I didn't. Yeah, that's why you tell people to subscribe.
But I figured if I could keep him as a friend for this long, anybody could do it.
You're right. Likewise.
Yeah.
So it's but that's, I think culture plays a big role in everything. So yeah, we'll touch a lot on that throughout this because he has no sense, no change in his pockets because he owed me $1.23, and you said you pay me $1.21 though. True or false?
I said it.
Okay.
I actually said $1.22.
Oh.
See, making stuff up.
Okay.
Always trying to undercut yourself.
Okay.
Always chasing small.
It is. So honestly, the big thing I do want to talk about, I really do. It's our demographic, where we at. I think it's big as far as being in West Virginia. So our sports, our athletes. I mean, it's anywhere. Right now, our youth,
keep it real.
I think our youth. I know our youth today think that they are top shelf. They think everyone think they're going Division I, Division II. They don't want to. They too good for Division III and JUCOs. And when I say,
but why do they think that? Like you see what I'm saying? There's a reason why that the youth now they have this elevated sense of self.
Yes.
And value, right? They
Yes.
automatically think they're worth $1 billion, and they're going to walk into the NIL and catch a $4 million contract. Like every single 14, 15-year-old who's ever stepped on an AAU court thinks that is exactly what they're going to get. Why?
I don't know. Do you think it start at home, or do you think it start with the parents? You think they think their kids are all Jordans and Kobe's and LeBrons? Or do you think that the kid watched too much TV? Because I watch today's kids. I work with them, and throughout basketball, throughout AEUs and high schools, I talk to them, try to get inside their head. And like, what makes you think you're so good? Like, I ain't gonna say my age, but I'm a lot younger than you. And I always tell them, you can't beat.
Can't start out the podcast.
You can't beat me. Can't start out the podcast with a lot. Like, y'all can't beat me. Y'all, they don't understand like concepts of the game. I'm talking about basic basketball IQ.
Well, that's what it is. I think that is you and I grew up, when we grew up, there was a concept of the game. Team was over self.
Yes.
Always. If you shot and you missed, we'll take the three for instance. I think the three has absolutely destroyed the game of basketball.
Yes.
I think it has destroyed a lot of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, players would be confident,
Yeah.
but then they shoot 4 or 5 threes and they miss. They're done for the rest of the game.
Absolutely.
So here was what we did, right?
Yeah.
The coaches, when we came up, if they knew you could shoot if you were open.
Yes.
If you were a prolific shooter, you could shoot. Now, you missed 2 or 3. Do you think Coach Dawson or Coach Clark at Cap, you think they're going to just give you the green light to shoot 13, 14 threes in a game and make 2? No. After 3 and you didn't listen, you'd have been over there sucking water on the side of the bench. And they'd have put Darian Scott in, and he'd have pounded the guts out of everybody inside. That sounded horrible, by the way.
I knew where your mind was. At least I thought I did.
D-man, I don't mean that in any way, shape, or form. We may have to edit that. We'll put a disclaimer. That had no connotation whatsoever, or could it be misconstrued as anything other than a man who was playing very aggressive at his position. God. Oh,
yeah.
This has gone sideways.
All the way sideways.
Let me bring it back in. But man, it's like, I think the coaches back then, they held players to a level of accountability.
And that's each player. Like, you're in
every player.
Yeah, y'all are 2 different people, so y'all got 2 different accountabilities.
And the coach was good at pulling out like what each other's strengths were.
Yeah.
And he put the best 5 on there. And I do have to say this. I think parents play a bigger role in the problems now.
Yes.
In basketball.
Yes.
Than what they did back then. Back then, even when my dad was coaching NBD basketball, he had a rule. You can come and watch your kids play, but you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
If you want to help, you coach. That's when you get the right to say or don't say.
Yes.
But if you're going to be a parent, guess what? You come in and you should look at your kid and say, he ain't getting no rebounds. He's last in every line drill. He's unathletic. And now you're wondering, if I buy the team shoes, is my kid going to get playing time? That's where we've come.
But to that point right there, I'm glad you said it, because to that point, the parents not doing that. They're looking at your kid, saying that your kid
There's that.
is missing every pass, missing every shot. Now why can't my kid play? Because your kid is doing it more.
Or your kid's
often,
not passing to my kid.
Or your kid's.
Yeah.
It's
so is it a kid problem? Is it a parent problem? Is it a coaching problem? Because I'll be honest, I think it's a perfect storm. I think the coaches have less control over the players.
Yes.
I think they have less talent when it comes to like calling plays or corralling players. Like, I don't think Phil Jackson, or we'll use him for example, I don't think Phil Jackson was maybe the greatest genius of all time when it came to X's and O's. Maybe.
Yes, I don't think so either. I don't think so.
Dude, he corralled personalities that were bigger than basketball, and he put them all on the same court, and he would pull them off to the side and say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And like he would have that conversation and make them feel a certain way, as if like he would challenge them, like
yes,
mentally or emotionally.
Like, you're better than this.
Right. You don't have to beat somebody.
Yeah, show them you're better than this.
But if you could take Dennis Rodman and put him with Jordan and Pippen,
yeah,
and Jordan's personality already was, I'm going to whip everybody in shape. And if you ain't on my level, you ain't ready.
Exactly.
So then Scotty's got to follow that and play the same role. When you throw...
So one person can change the game.
Absolutely. I truly believe that.
I do too. No, I do too.
Because look at every team, right?
I get a lot of kids to say one person can't change the game. And
that's not true.
I try to explain that.
One person to change your whole daggone program. And sometimes it could be an equipment manager.
That's right.
If you see them out there hustling, getting the ball, and a lot of times you see maybe a kid who has like a mental disability, or he's got a physical disability where he can't physically play.
Yes. And
he gets a role on a team, and now that team they're like, man, this dude's out here every day.
No excuses.
There's no excuses for you. So now I can look at you and say, hold on. Little Tommy's out here, can hardly walk, has nowhere close to the ability to even play on any team, and he's out here every day and never says a word. And you complaining because you can run, because you can shoot, because you are a starter. And you out here complaining? But there's no coaching accountability to that. If you shoot 18% from the three-point line, I had this conversation this year. I'm sorry, bro. I can't support that.
That's right. You need to go back to the lab.
If you 2 for 7 right now, we got to reevaluate. You got to do something else because you ain't cutting it out here.
That's right.
You got to figure out. And now what that tells me is when I look down that bench as a coach, I'm looking to solve a problem. I'm looking to solve a problem.
I picked this lineup from you.
I'm looking to solve a problem.
So what's on the bench?
What's on the bench is it turnovers?
Yeah.
Are you not bringing the ball up? Are you not guarding your man? Are you not knocking down shots? Are you not posting? What is the problem that I currently have on the court?
And the answer's over here.
And what answer do I get? So if you're a one-dimensional player, nobody. If I got 7 one-dimensional players, if I got a ball handler, a defender, a rebounder, or just a big wide body that I need to clog up the middle in a zone, those are answers, but they're very, very, very specific answers to a very specific problem. But I've got a kid now, and I won't mention his name right now, phenomenal when it comes to hustle. Here's my other problem. I shouldn't have to teach you how to hustle. That should not be a problem we have to address day one in practice. How do you feel about that?
Tight lips over here. Man, hustle. I can't teach you how to hustle. I can't teach you effort. I can help develop a heart, but you still got to have that effort and the hustle behind it. I can't teach heart, but I can help develop it. And I always say that, I can't teach heart. No, I can help you develop it. I can't teach it. I can help you develop it.
You either have it or you don't.
That freaking hustle, just the will to want to win all the time. I told a kid recently, I said, I'm not a loser. I may not have won the championships all the time. I may not have won championships all the time, but I've had winning seasons.
Well, and I guess, to that point, right? Like, I think when you're younger, like when I would look at things younger, I would look at the wins and how many points I had, right? And dude, the truth is I put the ball in the basket probably more than anybody else in the state. Like I scored almost 2,300 points in high school in 3 years. That's a lot of points.
That's big points. He said 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Not 4.
So the problem is now people want to look at points. But on the nights, I remember 2 nights, and this long ago, I had 6 points in one game. I couldn't have drop kicked the ball in the ocean. Or as Jay Will says, I'd have had better luck peeing in a hot sauce bottle. But what did, my dad hit me with this question as soon as I came home. He said, how was the game last night? I said, man, I couldn't hit nothing. He said, I didn't ask you what you scored. I asked you how the game went. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, son, basketball's not points. That's just part of the game. What did you do? Did you stop anybody? Did you get any blocks? Did you get any rebounds? Did you get any steals? He goes, if you're not scoring, how are you helping your team if you're a scorer? If I'm not scoring and I'm a scorer, am I locking my guy down? Is he scoring on me? Do I have 20 rebounds? And I said, well, I had 14 rebounds or something, something like that. And he goes, don't ever think that points. He said, never be a one-dimensional player. And that stuck with me from then until the rest of my life. I had a losing season. My first season at Wesleyan, we were 3-28, bro.
Oh, wow.
And I would say we lost, and we had phenomenal talent. We just, unfortunately, the coaching staff, we just couldn't put the right pieces on the court at the same time.
Absolutely.
We'd have 3 shooters, but nobody bring the ball. You know what I mean? Like we'd have 4 big men, and one small guy. Like we just couldn't
figure out,
couldn't get it together. And we probably lost an average of on each game of maybe 3 to 4 points. So it was heartbreaking every single time. But then I looked at teams like West Liberty. They had 5 dudes who were probably maybe 6 foot to 6'4", and it was like a swarm of bees out there nonstop. They didn't turn the ball over. They took amazing shot. Their shot selection was incredible. They were extremely disciplined on offense, and they were extremely disciplined on defense. They did not foul. They had hands out, not hands in. They had hands up, not hands over, right? So it's those little things, I think, from a coaching standpoint, we've lost sight of how much control a coach actually should have over conditioning, weight training, agilities. You know what I mean? Explosion, absolutely. Like those key things that make you a multi-dimensional player. So what do you think about AAU? Let's bring that up. For all of our listeners, man, AAU is it right now. Everybody's in AAU. What do you think about it?
I know I got a lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of people in AAU and all that. But AAU is trash. Coming from our area, it's trash. And our society today,
I guess what makes it because I say this right, like
Yes.
as kind of like a devil's advocate.
That's cool.
So I know certain players that play AAU.
Yes.
And they're phenomenal players, and I know there's certain coaches who demand a high level. We know some of these coaches
Yes.
around the South Charleston. They demand a super high level of respect and work, and they do not accept mediocrity, I guess. So, but AAU, what do you think the failure is of AAU? Especially just, we'll just speak, like locally.
Yeah, I think locally in our area, AAU, I think is an epic fail. Because we don't have the IQ, we don't have the kids. I'm not just talking about just basic IQ. I'm talking about the kids don't understand what it takes to be great when they go back to their collective schools. So this is the time where you get better, where you get off the grid.
Yeah.
You get better. You get phenomenal. And I haven't heard of a kid this year that we can say, oh, let's go see OJ play. Or, oh, let's go see Cookie play.
Yeah.
Or let's go see Moss play. Let's go see Jay Will play.
Because that's what we did back then.
Yeah, we'll go find
the stadium.
We'll go find that kid. What's the kid's name from that went to Florida from St. Albans?
McNeely.
No, shoot.
Brett
Nelson.
Yeah.
Let's go see Brett play. We don't have that today because the kids are not that good. They're not individually that good. Let's go see Spring Mills play. They're a great
maybe
team.
this is, and I talked to House Media, and I want to get McNeely on.
Yes.
Because listen, I've met him a couple times, but I've seen him play a lot.
Yes.
And I know, Feldhouse has followed this kid forever.
Yes.
And when you see that progression, but here's the difference. When you take a guy like that, or a Brett, or a Jay Will, or a Randy, you're talking about a super athlete.
Yeah.
Who's it's not just they have the drive, they have this. This is 9/10 of the game.
It is.
To make the right pass, to be in the right spot, to be able to run the plays with efficiency and know who's out of place and how to circumvent the breakdown, right?
Exactly.
We don't teach that. We'll go over to play once or twice, and we're like, all right, let's go, let's play. Everybody wants to play.
And that's all they want to do.
And there's none of this. They touch this too much.
Yes. They don't
touch it too much.
They're not students of the game. So that lacks the. I want people to say, when I was coming up, we was like, oh, that kid's from DC, that kid's from Philly. We knew it. I want them to say, man, them kids from West Virginia, that kid from West Virginia, that kid from West Virginia. We got to recruit some West Virginia boys.
Yeah.
Because they're strong, they know the game, they're students of the game, they're smart, they got basketball IQ, they're just everything. They're everything in one. They are the Avengers. You know what I mean? I want them. But
and we've had great talent come out of West Virginia.
Man, we had great talent.
Jerry West.
The NBA logo. NBA logo. But since, what are we really teaching our kids today?
I guess who is the next? How do we get, and granted, from a geographical standpoint, there's maybe, we'll say tops, 1.5 million in the state of West Virginia. Maybe tops, people-wise.
Yes.
So it's not like we've got, we've just got, a ton of people to choose from when you got like inner city Chicago, New York, Pittsburgh, where there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 20 million people, Florida. We don't have 5, 6, we don't have insurmountable people.
Yes.
So what we should be doing is the same thing in business, right? This is the guys that I go into business with, or the guys that I do in business with. You can have 100 products that you sell or you have. So that tells me that you're decent at a lot of things.
Yes.
Or you could have 1 or 2 products and you could be phenomenal at 2 things and do it really, 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 really well. Know everything about it, the nuances, all your competition. And that is what I think basketball as a whole, AAU, high school, college, even, everything local around here is, we've got to start teaching basketball the way that it, because I don't think that a lot of the high school kids are prepared for college. That's why that's why they're not getting what they want.
They're not prepared for college. I told some kids the other day, I said, if coach tell you be on the floor at 6, practice start at 6.
You better be on there at 5:30.
Yes, and you're stretched and ready on your time,
Yep.
on his time.
That way, 6 o'clock, you start.
You start.
We ain't stretching until 6:30.
No.
You just wasted 30 minutes of practice.
30 minutes of that man's time.
Yep. And again, dude, like I said, it's
Or woman's.
It's one of these ones where how bad do you want it? Like I could tell when I was coaching this past year, I could tell when I would show up about 30, 40 minutes early.
Yeah.
And I can tell who's in, who grabs the ball off the rack first.
Yes.
Who's the first ones in the gym? There was a handful of kids, and I would say 2 of them were not starters, but man, they put in the work. I had private sessions in the morning before school. That's my time, bro. I'm there at 7 o'clock in the morning before school. Like, I'm there for you. I'm not there for my trophies are downstairs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I don't need nothing. I'm not doing. My kid's not even playing in high school. I'm doing this to help develop you. And there was one person who was consistent, and there were 2 guys who were there. If I went 10 times, they were there 8 out of 10.
Yes.
And they may not have been the most super talented, but they gave me every single bit of what they had. They listened to me. And the one guy's phenomenal. He's just athletic. He's going to be he's an Isaac McNeely. Like he's that guy to me.
Yes.
And wherever he lands is going to be good. It's going to be good for that program. But the other kid, I would rather have 5 players like that kid who he'd run through a wall. He'd do anything I asked him to. Anything. If I'm like, I don't want you to shoot a jump shot this whole entire game, I want you to lock that dude down and not let him score. He'd be like, all right, coach. I mean, you wouldn't see it on his face like, oh, I want to score.
Yeah.
No. If he'd get a wide open layup, he'd pull it right back out. You see what I'm saying? And
I get it. Yes.
It's the principle of the thing is, are you willing to do whatever it takes
for the team to win?
For the team to be successful.
And I think we lost a lot of that because it's I didn't shoot the ball. I didn't score.
Yeah.
I missed this many points. I've seen kids score 2 points, win the game and mad, and score 30 points, lose the game and excited.
But where do you think most of my points came from? I'd go in there and snatch a daggone rebound, the same as you. How many times did we battle? How many elbows did we take from each other? How many pushes? How many times did we get mad, yelling at each other, screaming, man, forget you. I mean, that's part of the game because you know what? Your pride was just as high as mine.
Exactly.
And my job was to not let you get the rebound.
That's right.
Yours was to not let me get the rebound. Bro, there was times you would beat me like a drum, and I'm like swatting you. I mean, we're hitting each other. But it's all love because we know that's a battlefield. In between them lines, that wasn't just a game to us.
No. It was a battlefield. And
it was a battlefield.
And I didn't come hug you before the game. I barely shook your hand after.
Yeah, we ain't cool. But then you call me like, what up? I mean, it's,
that's about
and
it.
Moo Gaines, probably one of the best to do it.
Yeah.
Smaller guard. But, man, you turn your back. He'd pull one. He'd dunk right on your back.
Feisty.
He'd go in and snatch it because he read the ball. He saw where the ball went up, even if it was his own shot. Yeah. He'd see where the ball go up. He'd read the trajectory of the ball. He'd run and jump up and snatch it. And it was his. Because nobody boxing out. The simple things they don't do.
And that's the same thing with being students of the game that I think we're losing.
Yeah.
I know we lost. I told the kids, man, you see that crossover? You see that dunk? How did he set him up for the crossover? How did he create that space to put the ball on the ground to start for the crossover?
Who got the ball to give it to you?
Tell me that. How did he get open to get the ball? How did he get to make the move to get to the dunk?
That's my biggest pet peeve.
So
moving without the ball.
Yes, moving without the ball. I mean, teaching V cuts, L cuts, fade, shallow.
Think about it. You play we'll just say there's this is just for time's sake. We'll say there's a 30-minute game. What percentage do you think you got the ball in your hands in the game? It's probably less than 5%.
Yes.
You think there's 10 people on that court. 10 people on that court. There might be 50 to 65 possessions a game. Now, if you're having a good game, you may touch it 10, 12, 15% of the time.
Yes.
But think about that. Even at 15%, bro, you still aren't even touching the ball a quarter of the whole game. What are you doing if you're on the court?
Yeah,
right? You're on the court the whole time. What you doing the rest of the time?
Standing.
Right. Are you over in the corner just doing nothing? Are you crashing the boards? Are you getting 8, 10, 12? That's why Jokic, the dude statistically is the greatest player in the league, period.
Because he don't stop. He don't stop moving.
But Shea is the most popular.
Yes.
So who gets the MVP? Does the MVP even mean anything anymore in the NBA? Because it's a popularity contest, right?
Exactly.
Because you could take some of the greatest players. Like I look at somebody, I'm a Tatum fan.
You are?
You wouldn't know. He's unfortunately from Duke, but we can't change that. But dude, you're talking about a guy who does everything well. He makes his players better. He knocks down shots. He takes it to the rack. He gets rebounds. He gets his team involved. He'll let Peyton Pritchard get 40. Jaylen Brown get 40. I mean, and he's on the sideline whooping it up because that's what great players do. Great players make good teams great because of their personality, because of their inflection on the game, because of their work ethic. They see this and his greatness, and those players want to achieve the same level. And now, when you get everybody up here and they're bought in, Joe don't go in there and browbeat them people to death.
Yeah.
He goes in and says what he has to say, even at the game. It was a good game, all right, we're out of here. Like, let them do what they do. Let salespeople sell stuff. Stop taking them out, doing this.
Yes.
Let basketball players play. But if you do not give them the tools to be successful, now all you're going to have is a bunch of athletes running around jacking up 43s a game. And I don't know anybody you're talking Steph Curry, probably the greatest shooter. Sorry, Larry.
Yeah.
He's up there with you, Larry, but it's a different game.
Yeah,
right?
It's a different game. But Steph practiced that. He's in the
35
lab.
to 40%.
But
You're going to go in the Hall of Fame, bro.
But he's in the lab. Our kids want to shoot that, and they're not in the lab every day. They're
not shooting 1,000 shots a day.
They're not in the lab. And then they got complaints. Then they got excuses.
Yep.
Okay, you ain't got a ride. Walk. Get a bicycle. Skateboard.
There's hoops everywhere.
There's hoops everywhere. On every corner.
Even if you're not, man, form shoot. I used to lay in bed and form shoot
against
all
the
day
ceiling.
long, man.
Yes, draw a dot on the ceiling.
All day long out of form shoot. Go outside, work on your handles. Do something productive to be a good basketball player. You ain't got to just shoot.
So any youth out there, any basketball players, take this as a token. We're giving you tokens, dropping dimes.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask Jay Will, right? I've played in several charity games with Jay Will.
Yeah.
And even watching, I even watched his highlights. The dude wanted to make everybody around him better. It wasn't, his glory was, guess what? If I didn't drop the dime and they didn't make the shot, nobody's looking at me. But if I'm dropping a crazy pass and they catch it, see Webb catches it or Shaq dunks it.
Yes.
Now the highlight is there. But without it, like LaFrentz, we all know an all-star game when he popped it off the elbow.
Yes.
Dude blew the layup. He might have got fouled. He blew the layup. So guess what? How much hype do you think it would have been had he bumped it and LaFrentz would have hammered on somebody? Highlight would have been one of all-time greatest highlights ever from a guard.
Yes.
But it's just like a quarterback. Tom Brady had to throw the ball. He can throw it 1,000,000 times, but if you ain't got nobody to catch it, what kind of a quarterback are you? That doesn't say you're a bad quarterback. That means your receivers are bad.
That's right. They got to get in the lab.
If it hits your hands, you should catch it.
They got to get in the lab. Same thing with basketball. If it hits your hand, you should catch it.
Dawson told us that how many times?
Yes, and Dawson wasn't even his coach. Crazy.
But
we took information from every adult because they didn't give us information to fail. And today's kids always rebuttal like we're giving them information to fail.
Right.
Why
do we want to see you do bad?
I want to make you great. I want you to leave West Virginia and tell people you're from West V.
Yeah. I love it too because, and I mean, in a serious way, like you and I, do you remember the Cincinnati dunk contest?
I don't.
He's lying like a cheap rug.
I don't remember this.
So, Cincinnati dunk contest. We're at the University of Cincinnati. And there was, 70 teams there?
Plus.
If not 100.
Because all the Canadians.
It was crazy.
Yeah, Canadians was there.
So, we're there, and they have a dunk contest. Me and Jabari did a dunk contest.
We did.
But there was another guy in it. And I don't know if you all remember, Melvin Levitt.
Yes.
This dude was a human elevator. He had pogo sticks for legs. He was bouncing all over the gym all week long. It was And I'm talking 40-some-inch vertical, jump up, sit on the rim. It was crazy. Jabbar comes in, jumps up, grabs the side of the backboard, dunks one. I think I threw it up, came around, did like a three, like some sort of a reverse or something.
Yeah, reverse.
So these were preliminary dunks just to get into the next round. Melvin Levitt comes in off 2 feet from the free throw. I went, oh no! And I thought, God, I hope he don't make this. And he banged it off the back of the rim, and I had never been so relieved in my life because it was a shoe-in for him.
Yes.
I mean, that dude was an animal athlete, which he ended up playing for Cincinnati. And
he was spring-loaded. Yeah, he was spring-loaded.
But, I mean, I ended up beating Jabbar in the finals for the dunk contest champion.
I forgot this part. I completely blacked this out of my mind.
I'm sure you did. Can't get beat, can you? Do you remember some of those losses he was talking about? That was one of them. That was one of them. But I say that to say this. I could bounce. Yeah. I remember catching lobs all the time. I remember you catching lobs all the time. Yeah. So when I try to teach these kids about explosion, jumping real quick, they think that I'm crazy. Because I'm, my age and I've got gray hair, they think that I never knew what it was like to swing from a rim. I never knew what it was like to catch. We were catching lobs, doing reverse dunks in games.
Yes.
And these kids are running down the court with tennis balls. And I'm like, come on, man, let's work on your skill. You got to work on your core, your legs. Like, you got to be in there grinding, not with this. All that hard work comes without touching this. This is just a conduit to get the ball in the goal. That's it. The footwork, the jump rope, the calf raises, the squats,
the steps,
all of that stuff, man, doesn't involve a basketball.
But that's their motivation, just to see that ball out there. Coach used to come, man, we'll have it out, and he'll pull that rack, put it back. I'm talking Division II basketball.
Yeah.
He'll pull that rack out. Ain't nothing but plyometrics and running.
We played against each other in college.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, I remember we played at Tech, and I think it was, Koger?
Pete Calger.
God, big old dude, corn-fed.
Yeah, big Pete Calger.
And
that's right. Big Pistol Pete.
Man, I'm telling you, he beat me like a drum.
Yes.
I had still, but it was my thing was I was going to score. I was going to get my points. That was never my problem. But my God, he beat me. Josh Perkey, when we played UC, I had, I think, 28.
Yes.
But man, he beat me like a drum. That dude beat me.
And did you cry and complain at the ref?
No, because I enjoyed it. I thought that, oh, they got to stop me. He's out here, they're putting their biggest dude on me because they can't stop me. But you know what I did? I just took advantage of I found out what his weaknesses were and took advantage of it. I pulled him all the way out to the side because I knew he was slower than me.
That's right.
First step, boom, I'd go up. Is a layup. If he fouled me, I made my free throws.
Simple basketball IQ. Big guy pull out, small guy post up. Simple basketball IQ.
Or if the guy's got 2 fouls, post him up, get 3 and 4. Now he's setting for the rest of the game.
Yes.
He's a non-issue now.
Yeah. Or if he's playing, he can't play hard.
Why do you got to score? Why do kids think they got to score 100 points in a basketball game? If the score is 2-0, you still win.
They think them D1 coaches out there looking for them like that off these points and everything, but you had a whole losing season, or you in a weak conference.
You got 1 million kids looking for a college scholarship every year. I can promise you, if there's any kids watching, any coaches watching, I'm gonna tell you right now, stop preaching points. You gotta stop preaching point. This is a defensive game. Period. Defensive rebounds get you extra possessions. Offensive rebounds get you extra chances to score. Defensive stops get you extra possessions. Steals. If you lock somebody up, they'll make a move. If you just keep following them, they'll make a move and they'll cough the ball up. You ain't got to reach in and start slapping. That's my problem is you get these real quick guards. Yeah. They want to reach in and start slapping.
Instead of shadow the ball.
Just move.
Yeah.
Move your feet. These once they start doing this, that's when the fouls are called. They calling everything. No, you got to stop reaching. Told my guys this year, get your hands off. Like stop fouling people. oh man, he calling everything. No, he's not. He's calling a foul.
Yeah.
You swipe down, you come over somebody's back, get in position. If you get out rebounded and you come over somebody's back, don't even look at the bench. Don't look at me. Because I'm gonna be staring right at you, knowing that you ain't in no position.
How you gonna stare at him?
Right.
How you gonna stare at him?
Same way I stare at you. You know, like, are you serious? So I think it's a combination of everything, man. I think it's coaches. Honestly, a lot of coaches. I'm going to say every coach, right?
Yes.
Most of them either don't have the resume. They've never played basketball. They don't get the application part. They don't understand how important certain aspects of the game are.
Yes.
And I think they don't have a backbone. Tell the parents straight up day one, you come in and watch. You don't talk. You don't say anything.
Yeah.
If you cross that line, we have a no tolerance. You're out.
So are you how are you with like open practices? They can come to practice.
I think it works one of two ways, right? I think if there's a respect level, and I think if parents can respect the fact that they can sit on the bench or sit in the stands, they can watch the practice. Because there's a good thing to that. And I say this, right? I've got two schools of thought. You can never challenge me on what your kid is doing or not doing if you're coming to every practice and you're watching it for yourself.
Yes.
So you can't come to me and say, why is Johnny not getting any playing time? Or Jabbar, or Jalen. This is Johnny,
Yeah.
Pulling some different names.
Jabbar gets playing time.
Yeah, Jabbar ain't no playing time. You know why Jabbar's on the bench. But to me, there's that holds the parents accountable and it holds the kid accountable. Yeah. So it's just a different way to look at it. Not everybody's going to be okay with that. They want to close practice. They don't. I think that if it's your kid, you got the right to see what they're doing. Yeah. I want full transparency, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, I get it. Yes, it makes a ton of sense to me.
Because if you're transparent with the parents, now they're like, you know what? Maybe they'll be less aggressive with me when there's a coaching decision if they see what I see. Yeah. And I can point back and I can say, okay, so you've been to every practice. Yes. So you're telling me you don't see him come in last in every single line drill. That's what you're saying to me? Well, he's not a runner. What's that got to do with me? If 9 other people are coming in first and he's coming in last,
yeah,
there ain't nothing I can do. You better get out on track after practice.
Become a runner.
I don't know what you want to do, but running is that's the thing. That's like soccer. If you can't run, guess what? You better be a goalie.
That's back to that one-dimensional thing. Oh, I'm not a big man. Oh, I'm not a guard. Oh, I'm not a shooter.
The game's evolved. There is no. Back then, you were a one. You know, John Paxson played a point guard. He wasn't posting nobody up.
That's right.
You know, Karl Malone was a four. You know what I mean? Like you had position players, and they were there for a reason. And as players, honestly, from Europe, I feel like that's kind of where it changed.
Yes.
When you had like Drazen Petrovic, you had Tony Kukoc, you know, you had Peja Stojakovic. Those guys, Dirk Nowitzki. You had 7-footers coming over.
Going back.
You had Akeem Olajuwon who comes over and starts killing people with mid-range jump shots.
Yes.
Patrick Ewing. The game went in such a different direction to where now your guards are 6'8", 6'9". They're not 5'8". So the game just went in a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And it forced the smaller player, the tweeners, the 6 foot to 6'7".
You're right.
It forced them to be able to dribble the ball, to guard guards. And you know what I mean? To run the floor, to actually run the floor.
You gotta have a shimmy shake like Kobe and Jordan. That's that 6'6" shimmy shake.
Yep.
And fade. You gotta have a post move.
So if you're under 6'7", you better be strong. Peyton Pritchard ain't but 6'1", 6'2". He will straight take you down there.
Yeah.
But he knows how to manipulate his body. He'll bump you, and all he needs is that second to get it up.
That's right.
And has become probably the greatest sixth man this year in the NBA. Has like several. I bet he's got half a dozen or more 30-plus games.
That's awesome. Yeah.
As a 6-foot guard, he's up there. I think he's got the most threes on their team.
That's crazy.
So you see what I'm saying? As a sixth man?
Yeah.
What?
And in the NBA, you come in with a role. They're going to tell you.
You better come in and produce.
Yeah, but you got to produce.
So that tells you as a sixth man.
Yeah.
I ain't starting. He didn't say, I'm not starting for the Celtics. He said, what you need me to do.
That's it.
Comes in the game, does what he got to do, and he puts it to bed. He don't go out and party. He don't go up, shoot up nightclubs. He don't do anything crazy. He goes to work, does his job, does it effectively, and he goes home. Oh man, you want to shoot stuff up?
So we talking about Ja? Who we talking about?
I mean, I wasn't saying nothing. But,
what you talking about?
I mean, but sometimes you can take them out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them.
Okay.
Case in point.
Yeah.
Case in point. You.
They never say that about white people. You can take them out suburbs.
I guess.
Ha!
Take them out the trailer, but you can't take the trailer out of them.
We'll take that one.
You remember your guy from Morgantown, Pitsnoggle?
Pitsnoggle, yeah. WVU.
You can take him out the mullet, but you can't take the mullet out of him.
Yeah,
that was that dude, man. Owen Schmidt.
Yeah, Owen Schmidt.
Was a bulldozer. So we're going to get into more topics like that.
Yeah, man. I like, So AAU for you, real quick, to sum it up.
I think AAU is great for competition. I think if you can travel around, play different types of competition, I think that's the benefit from AAU. I think the downside is it takes away a lot of time that you could be getting used to your teammates and playing in a summer league against the players that you're going to play with the rest of the year, 4 years. I think that it really crushes the dynamic of the family.
Yeah.
I think it's financially straining. I think that it is like logistically straining, that just with the travel and everything.
Yes.
I think it's hard on the kids too. I think sometimes the kids might get burnt out. They play sometimes 5 or 6 games in a weekend, bro. And that's hard. Are they doing what they got to do? Are they taking cold baths after? You know what I mean? Like, are they icing after every single event? Are they stretching nonstop? Because that's injury prevention.
It's a strain on tendons,
on everything. The more you play, you open a car door a million times. At some point in time, you're going to have to replace the car door.
Yeah. You got to oil it up.
Joints are no different.
Exactly.
So I guess that's my thing is I'm not against more basketball if it's mitigated, it mitigates the damage by like repair work, the stretching and the ice and the baths and, the Theragun, like those types of therapies in conjunction with more play.
I guess I could agree with that, but
what do you think?
I guess I could. The plan is, I think, good. I guess because, like I say, my hatred towards AAU is deep. It's really deep.
What makes it so like?
Why I don't like it so much?
Yeah.
Because I don't think our kids are good enough. Honestly, it could be just me, or we don't hear them big names no more. But it could just be me that I think they need to get time in the lab to actually get better.
Yeah.
I want them to get better. I want to hear of a Jason Jordan. Oh, let's go watch that kid, that left-handed kid.
Yeah.
I want to hear that. Or heck, even a Nat Moles. I used to go watch him when we was in college. You go back down. Hey man, let's go watch that Nat Moles kid. He was the kid at the time.
Yeah.
So I want to hear more of that. I don't hear, but I hear let's go see Spring Valley play because they're a good team.
Yeah.
They ain't no standouts. Ain't no behind the back passes. Ain't no crazy dribbling. But they win championships. They win sectionals, whatever. Let's see a Spring Mills. They same thing.
Yeah.
I hear that, and that's cool. The full team dynamic. I get that.
So do you want to see a better team unity, or do you want to see better individual player development?
I want to see better individual player development. I want to be able to take a kid from Spring Mill and be able to drop you in college and know you're going to be fine. I want to see a kid at South Charleston High School that I can take out and put in college, and he's bringing everything with him. He got the package with him. I want a kid to have the package with him when they get to college. I want them to know what shell defense is, what running the lanes are, what opening up and squaring up is when they get the ball. I want them to be students of the game. So when you go to college,
they're prepared.
Yes, you in the fire.
Yeah.
Coaches don't care. Coaches was pulling me.
You're not stressed out and overwhelmed because you're learning all this new stuff that you should have learned 4 years ago. You should have learned. Yeah.
So that's what I want for our kid. It was me and my friend Tommy Orchid.
Yeah.
We went to college. I was a redshirt freshman. But I'm in half the drills because everyone don't know what getting on line is, what shell defense is.
Yeah.
And I'm a red shirt, and I'm practicing more than the people who going to play this year.
That's what we all did.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So
like that's
we were students of the game.
Yeah.
Coach was excited to have me out there, was mad I couldn't play because I was red shirted.
Yeah.
So it was, I want our kids to be students. I want you to go with that knowledge. So when your eyes don't light up when coach says something, get online or do a V cut, do a shallow cut. And you light up like, yo, and now you whispering on the sideline, trying to figure out what it is. You're trying to push other people up to the front. And they're in the drill. Now they're getting seen by the coach more because they're in the drill more. Because they know what they're doing.
Brings me to my next question.
Yes.
I like this one. So I think this probably plays in now to a big part of it. And it could be why you have so much disdain for AAU.
Yes.
Transfer portal. I think that has absolutely destroyed any chance of team building, because if you don't like your coach, guess what, man? You just go somewhere else.
Peace.
So now what you've done is you take a coach. I'm just using these two as an example. Say if we're Winfield Hurricane, right?
Yes.
You take these players who are 5 guys at Hurricane. They played for Coach Tar, right?
Yeah.
We'll say 3 of them don't like Coach Tar. And they know that there's going to be 4 people leave at Hurricane.
Yes.
They leave. I'm just using this as an example. They leave and they go across town. Now they got a strong Hurricane, but who did? Tar made them,
yes.
made them a team.
Yes.
And now what they've done is, this is whenever you own a company and you train the employees to leave to go start their own company.
Yes.
And so now what's happened is, through no fault of his own from a coaching standpoint, because if you want to hold people accountable, I do know Travis very well. And I'm telling you, you either like the guy or you don't. He's very, very passionate about skill level. He wants effort.
Yeah.
He doesn't take excuses. And that's the problem. You can be a good doctor. I don't care if you're a nice doctor.
Yeah.
Just know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
We get along just fine. So as a coach, you get shafted now. Now you got to rebuild. Say everybody else was a freshman. The next 4 years are going to be a coin toss for you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you can just hop around, do whatever you want. Just do whatever you want.
So,
how do you feel about it?
Okay. I have a lot of mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I have a lot of mixed feelings about this transfer portal. One is a lack of loyalty. School spirit.
Absolutely.
That's
loyalty.
So that's my big thing. Loyalty, school spirit. You build that up. You build that pride, that school pride, that sense of pride, that sense of belonging. And then, okay, that's my big thing. Secondly, in today's society, I kind of get it. Kind of. Only because he don't like his boss and he get more benefits at this other spot.
But does that teach you one of these 2 lessons, right? Again, devil's advocate.
Let's go. Cool.
So does it teach you that if you just don't like something, you bail?
Well,
do you see what I'm saying?
Well,
you can't face adversity. You're like, I can't play through it.
And we do have a problem with coping skills with a lot of our youth.
Yeah,
so
that plays right into it.
That plays right into it.
I want immediate gratification.
Yes.
I don't like you, I'm leaving.
See, so that's why I have so many mixed feelings.
I don't like this girl, I'm leaving. I don't like this marriage, I'm leaving. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't like this car, I'm gonna get
trade it in for
everything is instant gratification.
Yeah.
There is no push through adversity.
So I guess the catch is, when do we learn this? When do we learn that, okay, if we can't get instant gratification, how do we push through this?
Because I've seen it.
Because and that's another thing with AU, daddy ball. My son didn't make the team, I'm gonna create my own team.
But he plays so much, and he got this write up on AAU. Well, yeah, you paid $350 to go to a camp. What you think, they're not gonna write a good article about you?
Yes.
He's the most athletic. He scores at will. Look at every single review. If you're an AAU parent, if you send your kid to a camp, look at every single player and every single review. Everybody's going to get reviewed thumbs up. Every single person. Oh, nobody could out-rebound this person. He's an all-around player. He's a prolific scorer.
No low marks.
None. Nobody's failing this grade. So I think it's one of these ones where, man, we've become a society of instant gratification. Even fast food, we can't get it to us fast enough.
Microwave society.
We don't care if it's the worst food in the world. We want it now. It's got to happen now. We want millions now. We want 1 million subscribers, which we do now. So if you could just do that, just click it out. But so, we've fostered this type of environment as a country.
Yes.
That's what we want. Now, fast. And we don't care what we have to do to get what we want. We'll stomp on anybody. You'll shaft the next person. You don't care about switching to the other team and that dynamic that's at play. The 4 or 5 other guys that might be getting 10 minutes a game because they've stuck it out for 2 years.
Yes.
Now what happens is you get 2 or 3 transfers in. Now them guys are getting 0. What happens to those guys?
You're right.
What happens? You just the next 2 years they're gone. They're toast. They can't do nothing. What, they just gonna play JV? Now they don't play at all. So now their chance has become 0 because of the transfer portal.
Yeah, when they've been loyal the whole time to their team.
I just think that sometimes trying to recreate the wheel, this is the NIL position too, right?
Yes.
When you start offering, and I do think that there's an element of value that comes with somebody like an Isaac, right?
Yes.
Who transfers to Louisville and brings, puts a lot of butts in the seats. But here's the thing. Is he getting a full ride? Is he getting his school paid for? Because to me, that's money. If you ain't paying for an education, that's money. That's $60,000 a year. Over the course of 4 years, you're at $250,000.
Yeah.
That you didn't have to pay for an education. Sorry, I'm still paying on mine. The wife, all her medical school and stuff, she's still paying on her. I mean, so there is an element of money. If somebody said, here's $250,000, you can go to school for free, that's a lot of money.
It is.
So why would we be paying them $4 million a year and then give them a free ride?
So with that, devil's advocate.
But what does that look like from a player to a coach?
Well,
school's paying you $4 million. Now you got one professional athlete on your team and everybody else is not.
Exactly.
How does that play out in the locker room? You're not setting a standard for any type of camaraderie. You're not. There is no except. I mean, you make a $4 million, you drive up in a Lamborghini. Everybody else is walking or using, public transportation.
We got mom and dad's car.
Right. So how does that play out? How do I look at you if you're making $4 million and I ain't making nothing, but I'm killing myself every day to give it everything I got?
That's big.
But you see my problem? You got a handful of these across the country.
Yes.
You've opened up Pandora's box and there ain't no shoving it back down in there. Because now you got people holding out.
That's right.
He got $4 million. Well, I want $4 million.
Yeah.
You know what I would say? Bye. You get nothing. I'll take the next in line. Because that's me. I'd rather lose by 70 and teach a lesson.
Yeah.
And now we all on the same page. And you know that ain't nobody getting away with nothing. Nobody is above the law. But when you start introducing money and politics into sports is now third. Money is number 1, right?
Yeah.
Politics is number 2. Because it's got to be politics when there's money. You can't not have that, especially in school. What about the player? What about the team? What about the loyalty? What about the dedication? What about the coaching staff that has to deal with this dude flying in on a freaking helicopter every day? I would not. You couldn't pay me to be a college. And I'm telling you, all you college, you couldn't pay me $20 million a year to be I would not do it. I don't want to deal with it. I wouldn't want to deal. The money's not worth it.
You pay me.
Now he'll do it. He'll do it for $20.
$1.23.
Yeah, $1.22, but whatever. So you see what I'm saying? Basketball is not the same as when we grew up watching this. These guys didn't make $40 million a year.
And they left it all. They fought through it. It wasn't a foul. No blood, no foul those days.
You talking Bill Laimbeer would have killed half the people in the league wouldn't be there because he didn't put him out of commission.
That's right.
I mean, you used guys like Brad Miller, who just beat the crap out of Shaq every single time they faced each other. He knew he had 6 fouls, and he went out there and he spent all of them hard. And Shaq swung at him one time. Man, if Brad Miller wouldn't have ducked, his whole head would have came off his shoulders.
Body would have collapsed.
But you had Kurt Rambis, you had Dennis Rodman, you Ron Artest, Draymond Green now, who's a loose cannon at best. Draymond, man, you out of control, bro. But we'd love to have you on the show. We can talk about your coping issues on the show. But I mean, basketball, man, it's kind of a reflection of life, right?
Yes.
How do you deal with adversity? How do you cope with the hard times? How do you dig deeper? How do you play through an injury? How do you deal with not playing for 6 weeks because of an injury?
Yeah.
How do you deal with somebody coming in taking your spot? Do you work harder? Do you give up?
Or do you fold?
Do you fold? Do you transfer? First sign of adversity, boom, you're out.
They all
gone.
transfer.
I'm gone.
And
I don't want to deal with it no more.
Yeah, and that coping, you're right. The coping skills. It's the coping skills. Because they transfer. They quick to transfer.
So it's not about this anymore.
It ain't about that. It's me.
Yeah, it's such a selfish game now. And the money was the game to us was never about dollars and cents. We paid money to play in tournaments.
Yes.
Because we just wanted to go and play.
Tournaments that you don't win money.
Right.
You don't win the money.
The hoop it up, the hoop it up that came here every year, the 3-on-3.
Hoop it up, then hoops for him.
Man, I won that thing 2 or 3 years in a row. We didn't care. We didn't win no money. It was T-shirts.
We played harder because it was for bragging rights.
Yeah.
We played harder because of pride, and we had that until the next time we played. Oh, I whooped you. Y'all couldn't stop us. You couldn't stop Jay. You couldn't stop T.O. You couldn't stop Jabbar. You couldn't stop these people. You couldn't stop them.
And our pride was on the line, and that was
every game. Your pride was on the line.
If we got beat, I can guarantee you ain't gonna get me the next time. We're gonna play in the next tournament. We traveled. We used to go to Owensboro, Kentucky. You remember that? We used to go all over the place, man. Just to play. We weren't playing for no. It was just to play.
Play for pride.
And now it's you want to play for $4 million. You're 17, 18 years old. What do you mean $4 million? You ain't done nothing ever in your life to earn $4 million. We've just gone so far away from sport that now it is a social, political, and power platform.
Yeah,
that's all it
straight
is.
Business. Straight business, homie.
Yeah. So
Muscle say straight cash, homie.
Straight cash. But that's kind of the stuff that we're going to get into. Have some real conversation. You know.
He said it like he ain't get into it already.
We don't get into it.
But yeah, thank everyone for listening.
Yeah.
Tell them what to do, because I can't say it right.
As Jabbar would say, go to subscribe. But no, go to our channel. These guys, we're going to be posting a lot more content, a lot of questions, a lot of interviews. We're just getting started. So help us out. Give us a share, give us a like, give us a follow, and follow us on our social media platforms. Raylan's Dad 416 on Instagram.
Hot Hand Hoops.
Hot Hand Hoops on Snapchat. So
you can tell them the S word.
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Y'all heard it here. Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Ditto. Close the ditty.